And welcome back, geeks and gamers, ninjas and robots. This is HorsePLAY Live. Today is Thursday, May 21st, 2015, and this is episode 75, heavily titled Heroes of the Storm Open Beta and the MOBA for Everyone. Hashtag Nexus Calling. But before we get into all that juicy fun ahead, guys, in this episode, I'm joined by someone that everybody should know. If you don't know him, you should feel ashamed of yourself. I'm joined by everybody's favorite filthy hardcore casual, the man himself, YogiZilla. What's up, big guy?
Yo, what's up?
As you guys can see, we have one cam going. Yogi's cam's derping real bad right now, so it's not allowing video for some reason. So
I blame Skype.
It's okay. No worries. Not a big deal. And of course, chat's not working now. You know, because that's so cool. And it's just amazing. Anyway. So what you been up to this last week, bud?
Where do I start? So I checked my bill, and once again, a Comcast employee misinformed me. There were overage charges. Not as much as it usually was, but still $70 on top of what I already pay. And I'm pretty convinced that Comcast is ran by the devil.
Wow.
That's pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my assessment.
That's a pretty good assessment, actually. Beard and Hat, what's up, man? How you doing? Welcome to HorsePLAY Live.
Ooh.
We've had some really good developments this week, though. For me anyway, I have.
Oh yeah.
We'll get more into that because I don't want to get too much going in with the. I don't want to spoil too much. You know what I mean?
Word.
Yeah.
I'm multitasking, so.
I'm trying to do the same thing, but it's not going that well.
I'm noticing.
Like I'm trying to fix chat and like in the stream, and it's not working that well. So I'm trying to do both, and my wife's over there laughing at me. Which everybody, May 21st. What year?
It's time 15.
1983.
Huh? Oh.
My life was born today. So.
Oh, that.
I was like, wait, what year is it? She's only a couple years old.
I'm like, what year is it now?
You ruined your kitchen sink with bacon grease. Wow, good job, Beard.
That's a good thing to do, though.
Not really.
Well, if you're gonna ruin your kitchen, at least ruin it with something that smells delicious.
Yeah, but bacon grease gets stinking after about a day, dude.
Yeah. But that first day is amazing.
Morgana Freya's daughter, what's up? Yes, he has that kind of effect on most people.
I'm gonna puke.
Or on some people. I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Wait, I don't know which part is making her puke, the bacon grease thing, or is there something separately going on?
No, it's just she just straight up said, she goes, I'm gonna puke. Why? What's going on? Did your mom make bad food? Or something?
She's actually on a road trip.
She's gonna be she is.
She should be joining us in a bit.
Cool.
Yeah, and Beard, yes, Comcast is the best. The best. Good thing I didn't go like ham. I said, you know, even though you're a friend and you're an employee of Comcast, I'm gonna take what you say with a grain of salt. And the fact that like I try to get a straight answer from Comcast by calling them and tweeting them. Yeah, Comcast cares my ass. And they couldn't answer my question. I was like, well, which one do you prefer, Coke or Pepsi? Yes. That's not the What? It's the either or proposition.
Like, yeah. Like,
that's the kind of response they gave me.
Well, down south, and I was at my grandma's house last year with Cam and my dad in Union City, Tennessee. And that's all I say is, you want a Coke? Yeah, sure, I'll take a Coke. And they're like, well, what kind? You said Coke. Like, you said Coke, literally. Do you want a Coke?
Coke.
So I'm
Coke is Coke.
Coke. Like, you're going to give me a Coke. You're not going to bring back a Pepsi. You know, I don't like Coke in the first place, but still, it's like everything's Coke. You want a Coke? Yeah, man, give me a root beer. All right. What? You said you're gonna get him a Coke. Anyway.
That's a little different. That's like people using words synonymously. It's like, in my family, we used to always say, "Hey, pass me the bounty." Instead of saying paper towel.
Well, because it's called Bounty, though. I mean, Coke
yeah,
is
but
Coke. Coca-Cola is Coke.
Half the time it wasn't Bounty in the house. It was like Brownie or I don't know, brand X. But I'm saying like when you ask a question, you're getting the wrong kind of answer. And like a simple question, I said it before. I know I'm getting deja vu, but they go. I asked them, I just want confirmation. Did you guys finally like catch up with the rest of the world and recent developments in law? Things that the government is enforcing, and did you actually get rid of overage charges? And then I get a freaking DM. Are you having trouble with your internet? Like, no. I'm having trouble with the policy.
I'm having trouble with you guys being stupid.
And I think the next response I got was, thank you for choosing Comcast. I'm like, are you a bot? Like, are you just...
Do you know they are?
No.
You know they are.
They have actual live people that reply on that account. I've had conversations with them before. Like, good old Joe from Comcast Cares. They sign off when they respond. But it was like, the guy said, shit, I don't know how to answer this, so let me just pretend I'm a bot.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Kleenex are tissues. Well, you think about that. Kleenex is that is the tissue. If you're gonna get that's the word for I'm gonna go get a Kleenex to blow my nose. No matter what kind of tissue, it could be freaking Walmart brand. It's still Kleenex. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another one that's very common.
Missy said too, chapstick is another one.
Yep.
I need to get some chapstick. And it's not, they might not have chapstick. It might be something off the wall that nobody's ever heard of.
The one that I always like to use is, and I call this the Kanye West effect. Because Kanye West fans are very oblivious to the rest of the music industry and entertainment as a whole. And they'll post things like, I don't know who this Paul McCartney guy is, but he's about to blow up because of Kanye. Like, what? How do you not know who Paul McCartney is? Like, are you that freaking, like, close-minded that the only thing you know is, yo, yo, yo?
Paul McCartney was writing on napkins before Kanye West was a glint in his daddy's nutsack, so I don't want to hear that.
Exactly. Before he was a little tadpole getting inside of an egg.
Again, like I said, a glint in his daddy's nutsack. He didn't make nobody. Paul McCartney made him, probably.
Yeah, that's just... But yeah, the same thing happened with... It's weird what things get coined. Like, MP3 players and media players have been around forever. iPod came around and everybody's like, I'm going to buy myself an iPod. And then they go to the store and they're like, man, that's an expensive iPod. My friend has a cheaper one. It was like a $100 iPod. I'm like, that probably wasn't an iPod. It was probably an MP3 player, but it wasn't an iPod. Apple and good deals, that they don't go hand in hand.
Never.
Let me stop before Beard thinks I have something against Apple. It's just an easy jab.
Oh, we don't?
But it's just the funniest thing, like just the things that people make synonymous with each other. Yeah, see, you don't have to like the Beatles, but you know who Paul McCartney is. I mean, that's like not knowing who Michael Jackson is. Like seriously, like there's certain people you have to know. Bob Marley.
This is like who?
Nice. Oh, Beard's like, is this gonna happen again? No, I won't go off on the Apple rant.
It's gonna happen again, guys. It's gonna happen again.
No, that part just cracks me up because, like, I'll have friends that are like, oh, I gotta get an iPod. And then I'm like, do you need Apple specifically? I don't care about the brand. I just want an iPod. And like,
because everybody else is getting one.
Like, iPod is Apple. What you want is an MP3 player. You don't care what brand it is. iPod is iPod. Beard's like, I will fight a bitch. Like,
wait, who are you calling a bitch?
it's just the funniest thing. I remember when the iPods were a big thing. Like, MP3 players have kind of fallen off now. Like, everything, I don't know. Smartphones kind of took the place of that. It's still good to have a dedicated device, though. I feel, but you know, people go into Best Buy and they're like, yeah, let me look at your iPods, and they look at the price like, do you have anything cheaper? Yeah, we got the Shuffle. Yeah, how about cheaper than that? That's it. It's like, my friend got one for like a third of the price. He must have gone somewhere else.
That's an MP3 player, sir.
Yeah, it's like,
no, I swear to God, it's an iPod.
Yeah, I don't think what you're looking for is an iPod. You're looking for an MP3 player. Now, can you imagine if people just started calling gaming consoles, that started all calling them all Nintendos? Yeah, let me look at your Nintendos. Well, we got the Wii and the Wii U in stock right now. No, my friend has one. It's called the CS more. No. I think it's the X something. Let me look at that. Let me look at those Nintendos. I don't think you know what you're talking about. Is this a gift, sir? No, it's for me. It's like, no. You probably shouldn't touch this. You should do a little homework first before buying, sir.
Right.
Anyway, I digress.
But guys, tonight on the show, we are celebrating Heroes of the Storm open beta. We might finish our MOBA discussion and share some real reasons why HOTS is king. Not better than, but moving or progressing further ahead than what Smite is doing. Maybe we'll get into some dust off later tonight. Hashtag the dust off. And there might even be just a little bit of news. We got a few things that we do want to share in the news because it's actually not bad. Well, I don't know, but we'll get into it in a minute, okay? So if you guys are new to the show, welcome to our silly party.
Yep. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Cause you did a boop, and that threw me off. Like, what's that?
Yeah, HorsePLAY Live is where geeks come to play, and 10 times out of 10 we get in trouble too. Whether I'm getting Yogi in trouble with his wife, or I say something really stupid and my wife hears it. You know, whatever. We get in trouble. We make secret sound. Got it. Hey. we gotta put that in the show notes. Okay, yeah, it was already.
I don't even know what to make of that. I'm still trying to think. Are you processing?
Yes. HorsePLAY Live is the flagship talk radio show for Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with AllGames.com. Our show covers all the aspects of geek culture with a special focus on indie and strategy games, technologies, and my God, do we rant. We have some of the most epic rants in history on this show. And of course, some of the social issues that geeks face, and as well as the community events that we are affiliated with. Sometimes we even talk about tabletop gaming, which we're going to be getting into tabletop a little bit more, I think. And of course, if we don't talk about food, this is not HorsePLAY Live. Mustard's good.
Mustard is very good.
My wife, no. It's honey mustard.
I like honey mustard too. Who was it that was saying that I think it was BFT was saying that honey mustard is an abomination.
Yes, he did.
The straight yellow mustard. But there's room in the world for the Dijons, the coarse brown mustard. Whew, spicy brown mustard.
Say something. Say it, Fifi. Say it. Talk shit.
That would mean I like ranch.
If she likes
she said she goes ranch is an abomination of mayonnaise.
Ooh.
That'd be like saying that, okay?
Ooh.
So BFT to you, sir.
Mustard is like the love child of honey and mustard.
Honey mustard is the love child between honey and mustard. So if honey and mustard had a baby, it would be honey mustard.
Now, if you don't like honey, I can understand if you don't appreciate the honey mustard, but it's a great combination.
Nothing to do with it.
If she hasn't, yes, you should try the the honey fiesta honey mustard or Mardi Gras honey mustard, I think it's called Mardi Gras mustard, something like that. It's something Mardi Gras something from Popeyes. It's like a honey mustard with a little kick to it. Oh, it's so good, so good.
While you're on your little talk here, let's tell a little bit of tell everybody a little bit about the show.
So yeah, we are a late night show. We're live and uncut. Sometimes usually we're very well prepared. Sometimes we're not. So crazy things may happen. We might be sleep deprived, might be inebriated, shall we say?
Missy's getting drunk for her birthday, and so I decided to join in.
Oh, lucky.
This is gonna be a good show.
I didn't get to stock up today. I had every intention to, but it's been I don't know. The time has gone by pretty fast.
It's okay. She'll drink more than one for you.
That's good. Drink enough.
She's already drinking a few, so she's probably already got one down for you already.
That's what I like to hear. But with a name like HorsePLAY,
Got a fifth going already.
with a name like HorsePLAY, expect lots of shenanigans. Just have fun. Just have fun with us, and please do not get butthurt by our opinions. We can disagree and still be friends. I will tell you as a friend to many of you, don't try to sell me on Apple. Many have tried.
I will tell you I was a friend. OB Logic, fuck off.
I'm just saying, don't try to sell me on Apple. That's like one of those things. Apple or PlayStation, don't just.
Blue cheese is not master race. If you ever say that again, you're never welcome.
Blue cheese is really good. I like blue cheese.
Blue cheese. Said blue cheese master race.
Blue cheese with freaking buffalo wings. Whew. Or anything spicy.
No.
So good.
No. Caesar dressing with buffalo wings.
Caesar dressing. Interesting. I mean, I like lots of different things with wings, but
That was
Caesar. Maybe with salad.
Yeah.
Bearded Hat also makes a good point. I was talking about how the world as a whole, at least American culture, everybody's become significantly dumber, and I blame reality television. He blames Google. I think it's a combination of both. We have an oversaturation of information, but the stupid content is much easier to access. It's much more in your face, so that's what people gravitate towards. And it's like one of these things that I rant about a lot. Like people that are like, say, "Oh, porn is bad. Yo, porn is disgusting." Like everybody gets into porn, and they're like, "No, sir, I do not." Like, okay, tell me what kind of books or tell me what kind of shows you watch. I don't watch shows. I read books. What kind of books are you reading? Oh, ripping biceps. Fabio rescues the lost damsel. I'm like, that's porn.
That's porn.
And oh no, I don't read those. That's trashy. I watch crime shows because you learn about the legal system, the justice system, and forensic and all that stuff. Like, oh, it's freaking murder porn. What else? Give me another one. Come on, like, it's just come on, stop it, people.
All I read is comic books. Geek porn.
Pretty much. But what to me the essence of pornography, it's pure escapism, it's indulgence, and there's no other redeeming value other than you get to escape for a little while and forget everything that's going on in the world. But you're not gonna become smarter for it or more creative for it. Usually, that's all there is to it. It's like to escape. It's like, man, I am frustrated. Fap. Done. That's pretty much it. Real talk. Hashtag real talk, yo.
HorsePLAY Live is every Thursday night, guys, at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific, on Twitch channels Geeky Antics, which is right here, and simulcasted over on YogiZilla as well. HorsePLAY Live replay is also available earlier on Thursday nights at 5 p.m. Eastern on allgames.com. If you guys go over and get on allgames.com, go to live or chat, hit the chat button. Give us about 5 minutes, about 5 o'clock. Be very much appreciated. Even if you have it in the background, it helps. But we're going to keep moving on with what we got going on this show. So we're going to get right into the obligatory news with YogiZilla.
Ding! Did you just try to do my part?
No, I didn't.
You sure?
I didn't.
It sounded like you were trying to do it.
Read your news.
So, just recapping. Get ready for the June 2nd Heroes of the Storm full release. The open beta, as of this past Tuesday, if you're watching or listening live, May 19th, is now in full effect. We'll talk about that in a little bit, hopefully. The new season of ranked play on Heroes of the Storm is starting as well. And it's gonna be crazy. There will be no more other resets or wipes. Just the ranks are probably gonna reset. So right now it's kind of like in a preseason / qualifier round kind of thing. So we'll see how that works out. They might reset MMR. I don't know. Everybody might start from square one. We shall see. But other than that, all other progress, purchases, skins, yada yada yada, all that stuff, portraits, all unlockables, all that stuff is gonna be maintained going into the full release and through it. That's what they promised us, at least. Video game companies do strange things and sometimes go back and they backpedal, but Blizzard's usually pretty good about that.
We'll see what happens.
I have faith. And I also want to, mention again this article we mentioned back in episode 74 last week about the real shortcomings of Xbox One. So I love Xbox. To me, if I'm gonna be spending time in console, Xbox all the way. It's what I like. It's the kind of infrastructure I appreciate, the kind of games that I enjoy, and the community that I enjoy the most. And that's just me. But I am not blind to the serious issues with the system, we talked a little bit about it. But the one thing I didn't get to touch upon is the parity clause, which I think is one of the dumbest things ever invented. And it goes back to the whole arrogance that drives exclusivity. This whole, well, if you're going to release a game on our platform, it needs to be exclusive to us, or at least initially. And it's stupid. They need to stop this crap. If make it easier for a developer to go to your platform. Make it as easy as possible. Don't shoot yourself in the feet. Competition is a good thing. It's the exclusive games that are gonna make me buy a system. What's gonna make me buy is where my friends are at, the wide variety of content, and the little things like the controller. I have my preference. I like the way Xbox controllers feel over PlayStation. I just can't get into that whole circle, square, triangle mess. I tried to with the PlayStation 2. It just did not click with me. But, and then Phil Spencer actually, before I go off on that rant, Phil Spencer actually commented on another article with IGN, and he's been quoted in other places, talking about the logic, the rationale behind the parity clause. And I'm not quoting exactly, but he said something to the effect of, I think I have the quote here somewhere. It made me really facepalm. Let's see. There's some good quotes in here if I can pull it up. No, that's not it. Man, it was just so funny. Oh, this is one. I think this is the one. This might be him. I'll be honest. The thing I worry about is I look at all the people who buy an Xbox and invest the time and money to Xbox One. Millions of people own Xbox One, and I want those people to feel like they're first class because they are, and that's beautiful. I like the sentiment. That's beautiful. But there's other ways to make people feel like they're first class. Then he continues and says, and this is Phil Spencer, the guy that took over Don Matrick position. And Don Matrick was terrible, and I don't know how he's become such a career man and has so much money, because he's an idiot and he has a very punchable face. But I guess some people get lucky, really. But he goes, he continues to go, when a third-party game comes out on multiple platforms, on all platforms at the same time. When indie games come out, I want them to come out, and I want Xbox to feel like it's a first-class citizen when an indie game launches. I don't want somebody to come in and just think, I'm going to do a special game on one platform, and then I'll get to Xbox whenever I get to it. I don't think that's right. But, it's not realistic to think that... All right, so they're not talking about so much exclusivity, rather than needs to be released on all platforms at the same time, or not at all. That's stupid. So they're saying they sometimes a company. It costs money to develop a game, right? Whether you're porting it over or starting from scratch. To say, don't bother putting your game on our platform and giving us more variety. You did another platform first, so don't come over here. That's stupid. There's another thing they said. I forgot where I read it, but and I'm probably not gonna paraphrase it correctly, but he said something to the effect of, I don't see the big deal. You know, if the companies reach out to us, we can make exceptions for them. See, that's a stupid policy. You know, you're making it harder. Like, they have to reach out to you to work out a deal so you could cut them a break. No, just make it accessible. And but that's the gaming council as a whole. They have all kinds of stupid policies and politics and stupidity. PC Master Race forever. Anyway.
True.
I'll post a link if you want to read the exact context there. Yeah, the parity clause does hamstring the devs. It's just stupid. It doesn't benefit anyone. There's other ways of creating the first class experience. You know, like they could bring back Xbox Live Arcade. Now, granted, Xbox Live Arcade evolved. Some people say it devolved because initially it used to be for just small games, like only a few hundred megabytes tops, not like these multi-gig HD games. You know, it's supposed to be like arcade style games. You know, and now it's become much more than that. But I feel like they should have two main areas on any Xbox platform. You have the AAA stuff, and then you have the arcade area, and then within that you have like the indie stuff. I think that's the way it should be. And they had that kind of going, and then like if they just made it so that all your Xbox Live Arcade games will work on Xbox One, they would kill it. People need stuff to play.
And that's just like a lot of people, what people do. Damn, sorry. That's just, I mean, I forgot what I was saying.
Bearded has like, he says, Wii U Mastery. Let's see you play Super Mario 3D World on the 3D PC. Right. I'm not buying a Wii U for a couple of games. It's a very interesting console. I'm really intrigued by it, but again, like a handful of games not gonna maybe drop a few $100s. So PC still is for me, and not for everybody.
PC is always gonna be Master Race. I don't care who you are. You like Xbox? That's awesome. I like Xbox too. You like PC, PS4? That's awesome. I like PS4 too. PC's still the Master Race. There's nothing that consoles can ever do to stick up with PC, and that's the end of the conversation because we're not sticking on this. Not gonna do it. I don't want to stick on this conversation. We don't need this conversation again.
Well, you know, like I said, we're not trying to convert anybody to the Church of PC. We're just saying that there's just a lot more content on the PC side,
right?
And it's content that we like. Anywho,
on a little bit of a different note, I guess you could say, one of the late night co-hosts, you guys know David Letterman, after 33 years.
Co-host.
Talk show host, sorry.
I'm about to say co-host. He's like the man.
David Letterman is retiring after 33 years in the business. I mean, that's just an amazing. It's an end of an era. One of his last shows is in New York City, and apparently, like they wasted no time like dumping the set. Like they were like, all right, new guy coming in, let's go. Who is the new guy? Do you know, yo?
I don't even know if they're gonna have someone come in for him. You know, a lot of these places for some reason are relocating in other states. A lot of them going over to the West Coast. That's one of the last shows that's still done live in New York. If you think about it, because Conan O'Brien used to be New York City based. He went to the West Coast last I checked. We used to have, I guess you could count that MTV show TLA or whatever it was, TRL, Total Request Live. But as far as like late night shows, there were a few of them. that were in New York.
Right. Well, and everything is going to the West Coast because of the. I mean, that 3 hour time difference is the best. I mean, if Steve Colbert is the new host. But you got to think about
Whoa,
it. Too.
Colbert's taking over?
Yeah.
Ooh.
She just looked it up on Google, and he's the one coming up. But you got to think about it too. 11 o'clock Eastern time. That's only 9. That's only at 8 o'clock p.m. So doing a show at 8 p.m. opposed to 11 p.m. That just sounds better.
Well, they actually record those shows early anyway.
Not the one in New York.
The David Letterman, I think, was pre-recorded too, because
I thought it was live.
nah, they create that illusion. That's what's funny about it. I know Conan O'Brien definitely is pre-recorded. I remember going during the day, and he'd record it, and then they play it later on in the day. Well, actually, they would air. Yeah, same week, same day, I think. But yeah, right. They're pre-recorded.
But we do want to say though, congratulations to him on his awesome career. And I didn't watch much of the Late Show, but I did watch him. Before. So I mean, from what I did see of him, I mean, hey man, thanks for your service. Thanks for your time. That's all I'm gonna say.
The beer said New York is too expensive, but they're moving to LA, which is just as expensive. So
yeah, that's true. I mean,
that's everything. That I don't like. I don't buy. It's just, I guess they're just trying to consolidate and have everything close to whatever. I don't know. It's the end of an era. Yeah, and I know that it's an illusion with the pre-recorded shows making it seem like it's live. That's part of the magic of it. It still feels magical after you attend the live shows when they're actually recording it. But yeah, text-wise, I don't know about that. LA is freaking expensive. They're pretty much up there.
Well, and that's one thing too that in the future we're gonna be moving out towards the West Coast. We were looking at it too, and the prices from LA to Washington is like a world of difference.
Yeah.
Like it'd be even more beneficial for us to live in Washington, and then just have a drive down into California if we need to, or a short flight. But it's not worth going down all the way down to LA to. It's just not worth it. The cost of living, and then trying to get around is going to be hell. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that they only, like, for the businesses, they might have breaks because they'll like give them like these deals, like, hey, come out here, we'll give you these perks or blah blah blah. They'll work with big business, big brands, because that create they'll hook them up because that creates more tourism and more jobs. You know what I mean? That's what I think is happening. But for the everyday person, LA is just as expensive as New York City. So,
or even more. I mean, there's just. I mean, you can say anybody can say like, if I live in LA, oh, New York's too expensive, and then if you live in New York, oh, LA's too expensive. It's the same damn price, really.
Oh yeah. It's very similar. The only thing that's really different to me, and I have lived on both coasts, so I know firsthand. The only thing that's different is the climate. That's about it. But anyway, so back to video games, and also I want to say I'm surprised they didn't take like the set, like at least the model George Washington Bridge that they have, and like put that stuff in a museum or something. 33 years is a big deal. That's a piece of New York City history. But anyway.
Yeah, it is.
So sad news in gaming. We talked about Konami, the whole fallout with Kojima and all that crap. and there's still rumors going around, and they're getting stronger and stronger. They haven't been confirmed yet. We haven't got any press releases or any confirmations or anything. But it really feels like Konami's looking to maybe shut down their console gaming efforts. Because what a lot of people don't realize is, even though Konami does have a lot of strong video game franchises, and it's a shame it's in the wrong hands, their most thriving, growing sectors, like their digital entertainment numbers are going down consistently, and they're doing more from like things like casino games and health and fitness. They have that stuff, like they have pachinko and they have the slot machines and all that stuff. They've also been more focused on mobile gaming, because that's still like the hot new thing to do. I don't think that trend's gonna keep going for much longer. People think it is, but I mean, it'll still be strong, but it's gonna get oversaturated, and people are gonna start tuning it out like they have with every other media space. But yeah, it's kind of scary, because you wonder about the future of franchises like Metal Gear, Castlevania. What's really happening there, and no one really has a firm report on it. But I think it's a bad move for them, because even though their numbers have been on decline, digital entertainment is still around 45% of their business, like their actual income. So maybe it was at 1.80% and it's on a steady decline. But if you look at the distribution of their numbers, most of it's still coming from digital entertainment.
Right.
And that a lot of that includes console games. So.
And then you say digital entertainment, that's like entertainment purchased digitally, or right?
Digital entertainment just encompasses console games, mobile, video games in general.
Digital.
Just anything that's digital as opposed to physical. They have separate. They track that separately as distinct things. But so yeah, we'll keep up with that. If you happen to hear something before we do, I mean, we're usually good about getting the press releases from our different PR contacts and the company themselves, but they've been pretty quiet about the specifics of it. I do recommend, if you want like a really good history about Konami, Gaming History 101 with our friends Jam Elias and Fred Rojas had a really good retrospective and a kind of historic overview of Konami over the past few decades, and it's a very rich history there. And when you really think about the breadth of their work and just how many great things they've done for gaming as a whole, kind of a shame to see like such a great company kind of shitting their pants. But I don't know. It's like you had these juggernauts that just were unstoppable, and then they suddenly just stopped moving altogether. Like they're confused. They're not even trying to like at least walk. They're just sitting in place, going, "What's going on here? What do I do next?" Like, just keep doing what you always do. You're the juggernaut. Just run and smash things. It's pretty simple.
Take damage.
Yep.
That's what you do. Run and take damage.
Pretty much. Be a tank.
Oh, yeah, like that one, was it Meriden? That, I'm going to be the tank, but I'm going to run away.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on a rat. That's it. I was going across to grab something when you said that. Yeah, ugh. No, that Muradin was even worse because he either ran away during a team fight when he was at full health, or he engaged a 5v1 when he had no help nearby. Like you're doing the complete opposite of what you should be doing. He's like, okay, my whole team's here. I'm gonna run away now. Oh, my team isn't here. I'm going to engage. He was like opposite man. Like, I'm gonna walk backwards. I don't know. And on top of that, he was trying to like he was doing stupid things like pushing a lane by himself, trying to siege, or taking merc camps by himself. I'm like, yes, that's the optimal way to play
as a tank,
warrior.
too. At the same time, as a tank, I mean, we don't mind getting siege camps and bruiser camps and everything. That's what needs to happen. But as a tank by yourself, when your team is trying to fight a team fight, yeah, not the best time to do it.
See, BNR has says that their size crushed them. If a game doesn't net hundreds of millions of dollars and it's a failure, what they need to do is just temper expectations. Don't pump a crap ton of money into a game. You know, a lot of companies are starting to do this. They're creating smaller teams for projects. They have the brand power behind it, but they're not dumping a bunch of money into it. So everything they make off of it is pure profit. And then they scale from there. Even Blizzard did that with Hearthstone. Hearthstone was a really soft launch. It didn't really have a huge following at first. It was kind of a niche thing. And now it's a pretty massive success. And now that it's on mobile, even more so. You know, and they started with like a freaking 2-man team. You know? That's a big deal. Considering that Blizzard has, God, I don't even know how many people working on Heroes of the Storm now. It's a huge team. They even have a dedicated team for legacy games. That includes Warcraft 3. They still support those. So, you know, you could do it. You just got to know, all right, this is how much we're investing and this is how much value we expect from it. Temper those expectations. If you put in $1 million, you get $5 million back. Hey, it's profit. You know, these companies need to like read. It's a great book by Eric Ries called Lean Startup. It teaches you how to run a profitable business.
Wake up.
And who is poking me? That's gonna show up in the recording. I see you. I'm monitoring.
Don't poke, please.
You guys are trolling. This is why does it show up in the recording and the podcast? What it is. Yeah. Anyway, so the last news item, something that Obi found.
All right. I was watching his stream, guys. I was watching one of the rank ones. How they already have 1,100 plus wins and heroes. Beyond me. But I was watching some of the streams earlier just to see how other people are playing different the heroes that I'm playing, right? Well, if you guys want to check this out with me, I'm going to actually put it on stream for those that are live. For those that are listening to the podcast, you guys are going to have to just check out the video. I guess. I don't know.
Wait, are you talking about the dot arena?
Yes.
Yeah, that.
I'm actually gonna put it on the stream. All right. So what we got here, guys, and this is something that I was looking at, and he made valid points, and I was like, what the hell? If you guys can see down right below me, it's called Dot Arena. I put it in chat. It's www.dotarena.com. And then you guys could check that out. And it's basically, if you look at it, and you guys can see what I'm looking at right now, it's Dota Arena. It's kind of it's a ripoff of a few different games that I've come to see and find out. First one being Heroes of the Storm. Second one being Dota 2. Third one being Blizzard in general. Now I'm going to show you a couple for those that play Heroes of the Storm and that know the heroes. First person in chat to tell me who this guy looks like just wins, I guess.
Sworn said the same thing that I said. It's a chibi Dota.
Yes. But it's to the point where like Jimmy here, if he'll actually load. Oh wow, that was crazy.
By the way, Dot Arena is available on Android and iOS, but you need a tablet. It doesn't work for the phones. I found that out.
Oh, it doesn't.
But I'm about to load it to my Android tablet.
You guys see it right here. His name is Blake. Now, can anybody tell me who he looks like? The guy maybe right there, right underneath my camera. Illidan. Yeah, right there. Now, here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. His name is Dante. Guess what? It's Illidan again, just in metamorphosis. So what we're saying is, screw you, whoever you are that made this. Get some original ideas.
They don't have to. Like a lot of these Asian studios, they take Western ideas and then just make them look.
They make them their own, which
Yeah,
is wrong.
I mean,
dude, Blizzard, Dota 2, they all have lawsuits against this company right here, right now,
yeah,
because they're ripping off their stuff.
and it's not gonna go anywhere because they're overseas.
Jimmy will load.
Who's gonna try to litigate on that? The worst thing they'll do is pull it off of American Android and Apple market. That's it. And then people could just switch their region and download it anyway. So, not really worth it. I mean, this happens.
It's not gonna. I'm not saying. I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Combat Arms. Combat Arms is freaking Call of Duty, and then sometimes it has elements of freaking Left 4 Dead. But I mean, that's Mexon. They take Gunbound. It's freaking Worms, but it's a cool Worms. They added some polish to it, and it's got a really cool art style.
And like Buster here, of course, all ETC all day long. I mean, you guys can go and check out the heroes of your choice. Basically, Jimmy is Tychus, straight up Tychus. He's got the suit. He's got everything just for StarCraft. Okay, really, but it's everything. Lucas is who's Lucas? Gun Yogi.
Oh, I'm
He's
not
got
looking.
the big hammer, the golden armor.
Where is it? One of the close range? Oh,
Yeah,
Lucas looks like. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Meriden, right?
Lucas?
Yeah.
His head looks like
No, I'm not talking about his head. His head looks like frickin' the guy from Yu-Gi-Oh! But I'm talking about his who he is, who he is the same as. Anyway. But you guys
Oh,
can
I
check
forget
it
who
out
he is.
at your leisure. We're not gonna get too much in depth with it. I just thought it was really kind of funny that, we got this card game out, and it's a card game. It's a battle card game, is what it is. And I'm not saying I played it. I'm not saying I haven't played it. But it plays good. From what I see, the concept of the game is really, really good, but it lacks that originality, I guess you could say. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, and BFT saying Jimmy the typical Space Marine. Blizzard ripped Games Workshop off years ago, and Games Workshop ripped off whoever before. Yeah, it goes on like that. Though Blizzard, they are true geeks that do tributes, but they still make it their own. This is a straight up rip out like that. Silent, like this is straight. Exactly. This is exactly the roster from Dota.
They took the characters and basically just shrunk them.
Yeah,
So
they made
they're
them
minis.
cutesy wootsy.
So
Like you're not even trying. Yeah, it's Uncorrupted Arthas. There you go. There you go. Yep.
Where? Who's Uncorrupted Arthas?
Lucas.
Lucas? No, he's not. No, it's not.
It doesn't really matter. Moving on.
We are.
So I think we should just skip. We need to make up for lost time. Okay, we need to finish the segments tonight. We're gonna bring in some people. We're bringing some people to the call in a second here. We're gonna get through the quickly, and then we get to straight to our feature discussion. We got a game plan.
Cookie.
We have a game plan. We're trying to get through this discussion for 2 weeks now. But I just want to say, make sure you go visit geekyheads.net for our sponsors. Support our sponsors, especially shinyprints.com. If you're not getting prints done properly, like on metal, like cool kids are, you're doing it wrong. For people that have art and photos that they sell, maybe you're a wedding photographer, maybe you do commission artwork, you're doing it on canvas still. Imagine if you could save your customers money and you can make more money per sale. you could do it with shinyprints.com because the customer won't have to buy a frame. Frames are freaking expensive. Mounting solutions are expensive. The mount with shiny prints, it's metal wall art that's ready to hang wherever you need it to hang. Done. What are you waiting for? Geekyheads.net for such sponsors. I also want to say we went down to number 15 on allgames.com rankings for live listens. But I don't really worry about it. I know it's really hard. It's really hard because people don't know how to internet. We give them a very simple call to action, like go to allgames.com.
That 5 minutes that we need is so much.
What's the generation? It's a generation gap, right? People don't know they don't use CD players and VCRs anymore, so they don't know that triangle means play.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because Twitch auto loads, YouTube auto loads. No one looks at that triangle anymore. They block it out. So when they go to a website and they see a bunch of stuff, it's really, and the all game site is really loud and in your face. It's really colorful. It's overwhelming. You see a little corner where there's like a little box that says something about podcasts here, like, what's this triangle do? And no one thinks that maybe I should click it. They're like, that triangle looks scary. I'm gonna just open up another page now.
Triangle has hacks underneath it. Don't.
It has elite hack source.
It's gonna worm bot you.
Google, Siri, how to internet Siri.
As she goes,
fuck you.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Shut the fuck up.
Fuck you. Siri, how to play podcasts.
Talk dirty to me. I ain't talking dirty to you, mother.
Siri's gonna be like, buy an Apple Watch, motherfucker.
How do I get healthier? Stop eating fried chicken, motherfucker.
Oh Lord.
I get that for because it's greasy. Never mind.
I wonder how far the wearable tech fad is gonna go. That's gonna be the next fad. I think that fad is gonna push virtual reality into the abyss once again. And then another 5 to 10 years from now, people will be talking about VR all over again. Like, oh, we got the best VR ever. But people gonna forget about it. It's gonna be about wearable tech. Like, look, Dick Tracy. This is a Dick Tracy watch right here.
And then they're gonna be like, dude, I've had VR for 10 years. What? But mine's better. What? Okay. VR is VR, dude.
Yeah, see, Beard and Hat.
Virtual reality is virtual reality.
Beard and Hat knows what's up. The power gloves. That's what they need to bring up.
That'd be awesome.
Power gloves were so not intuitive, but so much fun, nevertheless.
They were dumber than shit, but they were fun, yes.
Yeah, but anyway, we're about to bring the people into the call. Now, all sarcasm aside, allgames.com. We're on Thursday nights, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. GMT. Allgames.com. Upper right-hand-ish corner, just hit play. That's the little triangle that points to the right. All right. Hit play. If you play for 5 minutes, put us in your ear for 5 minutes. That'll count as a live listen, and that'll help us out. That's it. Very simple.
Or hell, you don't even have to have volume on at all. We would love it if you listened to us again.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome as hell.
Yeah, you may have missed the beginning of the show.
Listen to the intro, because 9 times out of 10, you guys, the intro is better than the whole show. Because sometimes we'll get it perfectly. We're both on point. It just sounds perfect. Sometimes we're both assed up. Most of the time, I'm assed up, so it's going to be funny as hell at the beginning. Because I'm going to be like, oh, I messed up. And Yogi's going to be like, just keep going, dumbass. But he doesn't say it. He looks it. And now I can't even see him, so I don't even know how many times he's rolled his eyes at me yet. But it's okay.
Usually I just pick my belly button. But there's one more thing I was going to say. Oh, yeah. Tell a friend about us. If there's a debate that you particularly, issue that we brought up and you really want to get your friends in on it, that's the best way to share something. Because, like a lot of people try to introduce people to podcasts. When without context, it doesn't work, because a lot of people don't listen to podcasts or they don't understand it. Like, one of our listeners, he shared one of our episodes, actually our Twitch live show on Facebook. And he had an asshole friend that was like, I listened for 2 minutes and got bored immediately. I'm like, Yeah, 2 minutes is really gonna tell you a lot. Like, I wonder what you do in life. Like, read one page of a book. Like, I'm bored.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing that happened when we got banned too. Guy was in here for less than 2 minutes, and it wasn't gaming, and bam.
That's Twitch culture right there. I tell you, the ADD is real.
That's
but
bitch culture right there, is what I'm telling you.
But see, with YouTube, we have YouTube videos. You go to youtube.com/geeky antics, right? You find a video that you like, and you can and then if you go to the part of the video where the issue you find particularly interesting is at, and you share it, you can share it. You can share the timestamp in the link, and then when the person loads it, it'll start from that point, and then they can listen, and maybe they'll watch the rest of the video and then join the conversation. But that's context is important. Say, hey, what do you think about PC versus console? Which was better? What do you think about, I don't know, what's the best color in the world? What's the best kind of coffee? Yeah, those kind of issues. BFT said I have one with my friends too. Yeah, we all have those friends. I have friends like that too that have like massive ADD, and I don't know what it is. Like that's the world as a whole. People we're so spoiled by instant everything. When something takes a while to build up and it's not in your face, like that's why PewDiePie I feel got so big, because he's just over the top. Like from the very beginning, he like constantly hype. He's retarded, but he's constantly hype. I mean, we can be bumbling idiots too, like the whole time, but that's not authentic. Sometimes we're chill, sometimes we're relaxed. We're just everyday people, and people that get that, yeah.
Sorry.
PewDiePie. God.
Let's get into it, yo.
Well, not for everyone though. But anyway, we're gonna bring people in. This is we usually do a Geeks Engage segment. We're skipping that. Make sure you tweet us though, at YogiZilla, at Obi1X2, and at Geeky Antics, and also at Janelle number 5. No 5. Janelle no 5. She's not with us right now, but she's still part of the team. She's still part of the crew. Okay, we're gonna bring in the people here. We got Lord Rakdos coming in.
Buddy was moved to your
Poked me earlier, and Morgana Freya.
User was
Boom.
moved to your
We got
channel.
Morg and Rakdos in here.
Oh crap.
I moved him this time. My body was ready.
Yeah, I didn't want to touch him. I was gonna be like, I'll just move him in here for him, and he's like, we'll move him in here in a minute. I'm like, okay, don't move him in here yet.
Yeah, cause last time I was talking and you moved him, and I had the notifications on, so it's like it was going right over what I was saying.
Someone has been moved to your room.
I mean, usually I turn it off, but I just like the John St. John Duke Nukem voice. But you were like moving, like you moved like last week. It was hilarious. I had to like edit out the parts. You moved like 12 people back to back. Like user was moved. I think Opie's ADD kicked in.
It did really. But
oh, Morgana says, see, hype people streams can be hard to watch in my opinion. Yeah, like it just seems like they're trying too hard. Like I'm hyped sometimes. I get crazy, but like. When you're not like the 24/7, it's like, are you really like this crazy? Like, no. I still have that scene, a PewDiePie video. At this point, I won't ever do it. There's some videos PewDiePie that I actually enjoy. I think he's overrated, but I appreciate his story because he came from humble beginnings and he had timing on his side. But a big thing that helped him is the fact that he was really engaging and also, he's crazy. People don't really care if you have something interesting to say these days. More like the gimmicks and the eye candy works. It's easier to build a brand around with video. Sadly, if we like started a scientific journal podcast that had like the greatest minds of I don't know, Mesa, NASA, and I don't know some consortium, and we discussed the cure for cancer and ways to increase your intellect through natural supplements and I don't know. All kinds. We could come up with all the kind of things like how to build a rocket ship at home for under $100, and take a little field trip to outer space. People be like, boring. But then if you're like showing cleavage and then like jumping on a pogo and making your boobs bounce, or like punching midgets, for funsies, that's like yeah.
Yeah, true. But what are you gonna do?
That's
Intelligence is a rare commodity.
It is. There's an audience for everything too. So, Bearded says, I'm a Markiplier fan. He's the biggest YouTube guy. I like Markiplier. He's got a really epic voice. I gotta say, I like his voice, and he makes funny faces. He's not too over the top either. Like he gets crazy, but he's not constantly like hype. Some of these guys try so hard, and they're trying to recreate that PewDiePie thing. It's like, hey guys, what's going on? just be natural. You don't. Everybody has to do the same thing. Anyway. So now we're gonna do our quickie. You ready, Obi? You wanna do it?
Not really.
Okay. So quickie. Here's the. Oh my God. Here's the Storm open beta reaction. We're gonna get some quick reactions on now that the game went to open beta. What everybody's experience has been. If you finally tried out the game that it's an open beta, let us know. Why did you wait this long when we had beta keys? I don't know. We had tons of them, but now it doesn't matter. We'll still give you the beta key. You want the beta key for fun. This won't do anything for you, but open beta for 2 weeks. Get on there now. There's some things you only get during beta. Don't say we didn't tell you. Now, Andrew, Rakdos. What's been your experience? Have you noticed any difference now that it's an open beta?
The new players, they don't really communicate too much. You can generally tell when it's a new player. The biggest difference I've seen is the people who've been in since closed beta or alpha that are LOL players that managed to stick around are now twice as salty to the new players.
Yep. Morg, have you played any?
Players themselves. Oh, for actually, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag of treats for sure. It's just more of the same, but I have noticed some differences. But let's check with Morg real quick. Morgie?
I'm scared to talk. I don't know what this mic sounds like.
Oh, okay. We just wanted to bring you in to say hello.
Is it bad?
Did you bring us coffee too?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
So we're just gonna assume that Morg hasn't played since the open beta started. I've noticed the impact. I still feel like they really should not let lobies in on quick match, just because it's a bad experience for everyone involved. They're getting the newbies are getting like smashed in quick match, and then the seasoned players that are in quick match just to relax a little bit, but they don't. You don't want to try that hard, but you also don't want to like have a match where like nothing's happening, you're just wasting time. Like, like a Murden that keeps taking on 5v1s.
So where do you suggest that they go? The newbies go
Co-op.
Because but people aren't gonna want to play co-op all the time.
Yeah, but it should be a minimal level before they go into quick match, because these people are going straight
like level 10 or 15.
I don't know. There needs to be
not 15.
There needs to be something.
Like 8 or 10.
Yeah, there needs to be a better onboarding process so that they learn the fundamentals. Because I think it's equally bad for the new players to get completely demolished. No one likes freaking getting smashed over and over again, and it's bad for the teammates that have to deal with that. And then it's bad when the salty people have more reason to complain. Like, oh, newbie. Like, yeah, everybody was a newbie at some point, I mean, I don't mind helping the newbies in quick match. It's just like it feels like they didn't even go through the tutorial. Like they just clicked on how it gives you 5 options when you start off, whatever, 4 options. Like, you're
master.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm a legend. That sounds good. So there needs to be something better there to reinforce the good plays, the smart plays. And by the way, for those that have been around for a while, you could do the training now, the tutorial, and get I think 1K gold for completing it. So it's worth it.
What?
Yeah, you get 1K gold for completing the tutorial now. To go back and do it. Whoa! Apparently this is used to everybody.
No, I've got mine.
All right, that's good.
I've got 12,000 gold now, so. Johanna comes out, I can get her up, snatch her up, and start tanking with her. Because, like I said before, she's gonna be badass. But anyway, let's get back into the conversation.
Yeah, I've also noticed there's been like more throws going on in Hero League when you go in solo, or even dual queue, because it feels like all the people that think they're good are getting frustrated in quick match when the new players, like, you know, player level 3 or 5, are like going into playing the free rotation heroes. Like, oh, I'm gonna play Vikings. That looks like fun. And they're just completely dying constantly, like doing nothing of usefulness. And then they're like, "Ah, terrible! I'm gonna go play some Hero League." But they suck themselves. They're just marginally better than the newbies, and then they get frustrated.
That's what people have to realize. Sorry, yo, but that's what people have to realize too. Is just because they suck, did you do the right thing? Did you go to the towers when you needed? Did you rotate? Did you go take the objectives? Did you go get that tribute with the rest of the team? That's the kind of things that they have to think about. Am I doing this right? If they didn't do none of that shit, nothing that they say even matters anyway.
Pretty much.
It goes in one ear and right back the fuck out. I don't want to hear it.
You know, I think with quick match you kind of have to expect a high level of RNG. It's gonna be a mixed bag of treats, and typically you either be on a dominating team or the team being dominated, and there's very few shades of gray in between. But you gotta get ready for that.
With quick match, there's really not a, oh, that was a close game. There's a blowout or you get blowed out. That's it.
Pretty much. But
it's just because of the
it's all right.
It's just because of the matchmaking right now. Yes, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for matchmaking wise, you know, for those lobies, and I want to say, and I'm going to use the bronze, silver scale guys, but for us bronze or a silver to be playing in the same group as a platinum level player, that's just not fair, for one. So I mean, that's something that Blizzard needs to fix.
See, I don't see the issue with matchmaking. I really don't. To me, quick match is exactly what it's supposed to be. Quick match. You get into a match quickly. If you start like stipulating all these things, like I want a specific comp and now I want this kind of MMR and blah blah blah, then it's now long match. Now it's custom game. It's not quick match. Like I feel like I said, it's either on a dominated team or a dominated team. But most of the matches are winnable. It's just that people get discouraged because they have that player that's clearly not at the same level on their team, and then they focus on the mistakes, and then they throw. Mm-hmm. And that's why that happens. But I feel like almost 99% of the matches are winnable. It could go either way. But it's usually like those late game mistakes that cost you because you have that almost minute-long timer, and then, yeah, that hurts.
Well, that
people
hurts,
that say
especially...
GG 5 minutes in.
Oh, yeah. Which leads me to the salty dog, my salty dog of the week. And I know you guys have one too. Mine is Nightclaw. I think it's supposed to be Nightclaw, but it's spelled the Niegh. Who was a Sylvanas in a match I was in today. Well, actually yesterday now, if you want to be technical. And she consistently face-checked and overextended. Right? She was initiating battles and frontlining. Mind you, I was ETC. I was zoning like a boss and initiating good fights, but she constantly kept going in ahead of me. And then she had the audacity to message me post game and say, "GG, we lost because we had a bad tank." And I'm like, "Wait, I was the tank." "Oh, I see what you're doing. Cute." So I replied back and I'm like, "Yes, passing the buck is a very healthy way to not ever grow as a person." And then they write back like, "Yeah, no balls." Yeah, I like that. Send a message to someone and then block the communication. That's one thing that's starting to happen more and more as the game's opening up. I'm like, really? Did you message me and then block me afterwards because you're bad? Usually I don't blame others, but you know, I own my mistakes. But if you're frontlining as a Sylvanas and constantly face checking and dying, you know, when you have an ETC on your team who could just zone like a boss, you're doing it wrong. There's absolutely no reason for that.
Well, and I think in that game it was a dual siege because I was playing Zagger that game, and you were on ETC. That was the Sylvanas. Then we had I think a Tychus, and then I think a Lily, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't even remember.
Everything was going good.
Yeah, we were doing really well in the beginning. We had a strong start.
Games that we threw, okay.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say we threw it hard, but it was more or less not us throwing it, but us trying to save Sylvanas several times, and then getting caught or out of position because we were trying to save her. Because that's all she would do. Front line, bam! Come on, guys, I'm gonna lead the way. As a squishy ass siege engine. That's it. Yes, Sylvanas has damage and everything, but she's a siege. She's a siege specialist, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a specialist, and she had both the lowest siege and hero damage. I'm like, what were you doing?
And XP. She only had 6,000 XP comp.
Yeah, she had the lowest XP count. I'm like, what?
And we were all up at like 14. She had 6.
Like, how can you be so bad with Sylvanas? She's so good. Ah, It hurt my heart.
But congratulations to Nightclaw, the salty dog of the week. And just want to say that her, after all that bullshit and crying and, oh my god, the tank was so bad, her MMR was like way under 100 or 1,000.
Yep, which is really bad, by the way.
And we're not boasting, but like the MMRs, average MMRs for the team that we all play with, the gang team, are right around 2K. So if you think about what hers were, I mean, she had like, it was like 750 or 720 or something like that.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna go big on MMR because a lot of times MMR does not matter a damn thing, because I can have low MMR in quick match, but when I get with my team, everybody on the gang, we have a 5Q, I play really good because there's communication.
Yep.
The same way I do in CS:GO. I can solo queue, but most of the time I play with a group just because it's easy wins. Excuse me. But if you guys have any thoughts you guys can add, if you'd like to add your own thoughts, please leave us a voicemail, 206-415-4987, and we'll respond live on the next show. That number again, 206-415-4987. So please check that out and give us your thoughts. We'd love to hear them.
I think Rakdos had a salty dog of the week.
Did you? Rakdos, do you have a Mr. Salty Dog?
No, he's AFK. Oh, there you go.
Scrub called Zombiji. Yeah, he about the same story as your Sylvana. Except we had the misfortune of drawing all assassin queue.
Oh.
Yeah, so he would initiate, and when I say assassin, I mean like all assassin. Illidan, not Nazebo. Illidan, Zagara, Zagaratul. Why do I keep the Z's throw me off? I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, all of them. So he would jump in on like the biggest guy. And he's like, come on guys, come on. And then he would walk away and we would know it's an obvious trap and we're like, back off. And he didn't do a dang thing. And he's like, you guys suck.
He yelled at you for not protecting him, right?
Oh, absolutely. Also, we ended up winning that match because it was on mines. But we were each pushing each other's core, and we won with our core at 2.
2 health?
Yeah, because we were each pushing 5 on each other's core. And he's like, bad win.
But you can't just take the win, like, seriously? Like, that's an epic match. When it comes up to the line like that, that's great. You know?
Right.
Like, that's, you gotta make plays. You gotta make tough decisions. That's not a bad win. That's epic. When it's that close, hell yeah. Bad win. No, what's even worse is when they message you after the game is done. Like, to whisper you. Like, please uninstall. Like, no, please don't message me. By BTW screenshot. I'm gonna start taking screenshots of the stupidity that people say. I'm gonna start putting on the website. I'm gonna hold the toxic people accountable. Blizzard, don't get mad at us. I think it's important. We have a wall of shame for these people. They don't know how to behave.
Blizzard, you can come to the website and you can take some of those and put it on your website too if you want. We won't be mad.
Yeah, it takes a particularly bad real scumbag to go to the effort of whispering someone post game to pass the buck, especially when you are the worst player on the team. But as far as the stats back it up.
Right. Well, you can whisper until you leave the stat screen. You can whisper people back and forth, but then basically she whispered him and then basically put him on ignore. So it's like there's no way he can actually say, well, everybody else did. He couldn't even rebuttal at all. I mean, she was just like, okay, douche. More than likely, it was some kid that couldn't talk shit or couldn't talk trash because she's just bad in general.
Yeah. I mean, having an outburst during the match, I can see everybody has those moments where it's like, come on, guys, stop doing that. Like, you get frustrated. You see, like, especially if you see the potential in your team, and it's like, come on, we had a strong start, we've been dominating, and now we're just being stupid. That's frustrating. But like, just freaking constantly berating your team, why? Anyway. But finally,
They could convince Renee and Merg to come in. They've got a salty dog. And I was there for it. But Merg tells it best.
I'm not. Nah, let them. They're probably playing. They don't like to play.
Guys, we're going to get right into it. We're going to get right onto our feature. And now it's time for our feature presentation. Anyway, I have no idea. Video game brawl mobile edition, MOBA edition. Roundtables, the final discussion. Let's finish the fight, guys. Let's go deep into our favorite MOBAs and why HOTS and Smite are tops. Yogi, you want to start off?
Yes. So last time we had a discussion, which was about a couple weeks ago, we covered the graphics. Just in terms of style, presentation, artistic flair, UI, just the overall quality and kind of effects, particles, ragdoll effects, texture and lighting, TNL, stuff like that. We were pretty deep on the graphics, and we kind of established that Smite overall has like the best graphics engine, but it's kind of a tie between. It's really hard. Like it comes out to personal preference. If you like cel-shaded graphics, League of Legends looks really nice now. Finally, they cleaned it up. But Dota 2 has a really nice art style, but it's a little hazy and not as sharp for some people's tastes. And we're kind of split up on the graphics style. But the consensus is if you like true 3D graphics and then that more MMO RPG style feel to it, or a third-person shooter style, then Smite might be better for you as an overall on the graphics side. Otherwise, I really love the overall graphics in Heroes of the Storm. There's a lot of options there, customizations, so you can have it look as good as you want it to, or perform as good as you want it to. And they've gotten better with the auto detection of your system's capabilities too.
Oh yes, because now I can see stealth.
See, there you go. And people still don't understand that. The people that can't see stealth is not because they're blind or oblivious. It's not rendering for them. I had to clear that up on the forum so many times because they're freaking, like, they're just dogging on these people. It's like, I can't see stealth. They keep getting me. The stealth is so broken that people pop up out of nowhere and I'll see them. And they automatically assume, like, check your eyes. Get new eyes, you idiot. And it's like, no, there's people that can't see it, literally, because it doesn't render for them. They don't see the light refraction. They don't see the predator shimmer. Man. Anyway. We also had talked about the depth and complexity. And we kind of agreed that Heroes of the Storm, while accessible, has a lot of depth. And it's just depth in different places. Dota 2 is probably the most complex and the hardest to get into. and definitely the hardest to master overall. Smite might be the easiest out of all of them, but it's still pretty deep. And the reason for it is because you have the auto buy and auto level up, auto skill things, so you can kind of go on autopilot, and it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to worry about how to build or get your skills, unless you're playing a high level competitive play. But then you can take the training wheels off, Did we get into, Obi, do you remember if we got into any of the other aspects in the categories?
We got into the graphics, the toxicity in the community.
Did we get into toxicity?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
That was the last thing.
So
And
League of Legends clearly wins that one, though Dota 2 is not far behind.
we were like into the sport mechanics and then maybe the content customization type stuff.
All right. So content and custom support and maintenance. We'll go down the list in order. I have to say, one thing that always impresses me about Blizzard, and I might sound like a total fanboy. I probably am, but I love how responsive they are to media outlets, to everyday people, to podcasters, streamers, people on the forums, people tweeting them. They're just very responsive, and even if they don't reply to you individually, which, come on, be realistic, that's not gonna happen. People, get over yourselves. They are listening, and this last patch we saw on May 12th, was a huge indicator of just how much they're listening to people and putting to effect, the very things that people have requested. So there's tons of they have, I don't know how many, I think they have at least 15 battlegrounds or maps, if you prefer, in the pipelines that they're testing and retooling right now. The heroes that they go through at least 5 iteration cycles, at least 5. But most of them go through like 10 or 12 or something crazy like that. Meaning completely different kits and core mechanics and talents. So you can imagine how many different variations there are. Like Kael'thas was originally supposed to be his Verdant Spears was supposed to be a passive that they would spawn every so often, and then it would as he had more spheres, they would actually increase the ability, the output and effects of his abilities, which would have made him very passive and boring because you just wait for your spheres to be spawned fully and then attack, right? That wouldn't be very fun. So there's always things like that. They test it out and they get feedback in private test servers or within their their own testing environment or whatever they do, and then they say, this isn't fun, or this is OP, or this isn't very well balanced, or stuff like that. So support and the overall maintenance, they're constantly reworking the game, and then the next category is content and customization, which go hand in hand with this. I think they got it in spades. What do you guys think as far as Heroes of the Storm goes?
The customization for me. The customization that I like with Heroes, that I like the most is with Heroes of the Storm, because of as long as you're leveling up the heroes that you're playing, you can get different skins, just even the colors. If people were watching just a few minutes ago, I was on my Zeratol and a couple of my different heroes that I was playing, and you can as long as you get to like level 7, you get a skin variation.
Yep.
You can customize everything. I mean, you can customize your keybinds the way you want to, just like other games. You can, but the most for me would be the skin variations, because like right off the bat thinking, if I'm gonna go and look at it, like I got a skin with when I got the game. It's with Trendy. The skin's badass. I mean, it's red and it's pretty looking. I got it actually on there right now, but as soon as I'm getting up levels, I can actually get a blue one. I can get a gold one, and I mean, I can just make her totally different color where people are like, "Wait, who's that? Oh, wait, that's Trendy. Cool. I didn't even know that." Like, it's just little things that you can pull out that just makes the game a little bit, like you want to play it. You want to level these heroes because you get a skin variation. You get a cool Illidan with blades like a flame instead of purple or green, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
I love the constant complaint that I've seen from some people that don't know any better. It's like, some guy on Reddit did the math, and the gold farm compared to the IP Farmer League of Legends, is really crappy on HOTS. And I'm like, well, you really are not factoring a lot of variables. The dailies, the level up rewards, and the fact that when you buy a hero, you get skins built in. In all these other games, even a palette swap skin would be a separate purchase. All right, I mean, there's so many things. There's so much value packed into every piece of content on Heroes of the Storm, and the skins are very well thought out. The only other game I think that has deeper customization is probably Dota 2, because their items are their cosmetic items are individual items that you can mix and match. And that's really cool.
Yeah, like I think there's one character who has different boots for each leg.
Yeah.
Like that deep of customization.
User in your channel
Yeah,
timed out.
And that graphics engine is really complex because of that, because it renders those individual objects independently of each other. So you can get those kind of equipment and show it on the models. That's why the game looks the way it does, and for some people it doesn't perform as well as maybe Heroes of the Storm or League of Legends. But yeah, there's a lot of customization, and they're pretty generous with the content in Dota 2, because you get all the heroes available from the start, and then just by playing the game, you get item drops. It's really cool. Like, there's always a sense of progression. I think Dota 2 might have the edge there with the constant sense of getting a progression and feeling like you're getting stuff. But Heroes of the Storm, there's a lot of rewards and progress. LOL and Smite, I love Smite. Maybe not as much as Heroes of the Storm, but it still feels like a bit of a grind. League of Legends is definitely by far the worst grind in my opinion, and toxic to boot. Not a good time. So I think we talked about the core mechanics. You said you talked about this, right, Obi?
Yeah, we jumped around a little bit at the end there, so
we like hazily talked about it. We didn't
were,
really go into anything.
Points. We didn't really go deep into anything.
Okay. Well, so we'll talk about core mechanics mainly. Okay, that's a tough one. Like, I think it's when I think about core mechanics, I think about the things that are central to the gameplay, and also the things that distinguish it. You can look at all these games, League of Legends, Smite, Heroes of Storm, and Dota 2, and say, oh, they're all MOBAs, but they all are very different. So, a key distinction.
What comes to mind for Heroes is group leveling.
Yes. Group leveling, no in-game item shop. So there aren't these item builds. That's a very huge thing. Cause that's something that. What's up, Albie?
Sorry. The one game that I think is the most mechanically inclined, like you need the most skill for, would probably be the Dota 2. Really Smite is something basically if you can deal with the 45-degree angle, half third person, half not type deal, and the way you're actually moving your depth around with your mouse. If you could deal with that, that's a great game because of the graphics. For me, with the core mechanics, I mean everything's almost kind of the same. But like what Rakdos said, the team play with Heroes, the team play with Dota 2 as well. But the more mechanical like Dota 2 or and I want to say mechanical for League of Legends too because of and I'm putting the gear aspect into it. Because in League of Legends it does matter what gear you do get. I mean, yeah, you could do trolls and stuff, troll builds and stuff like that, but to synergize with maybe one person, maybe your support if you're an ADC or the jungler if you're a mid, you want to make sure that you get the right things or basically the meta things that you need that people think you should get. And with Heroes of the Storm, it's not all like that. With Smite, you can just put it on auto buy and it's going to buy the best thing for that character,
or at least safe picks.
Yeah, it's basically the build for that character that's default in the system.
Yeah, and it's viable.
Those builds are really good. I mean, they're really viable. They're a little bit slow because you would actually maybe get a damage thing in the first couple minutes, maybe pull off some extra damage when the build would actually get you a defensive item, or get you your boots first, or just whatever. I mean, like I said, each and every game has its own mechanical ability, peak and draw, but it's something to where to each his own. There's people that I know for a fact they've been playing League of Legends. They deal with salty people every single day. They tried Heroes of the Storm one time, and it's not for them because they can't go out and 1v5 the whole team.
Yep.
That's why they don't like it. And that's just how it is.
Smite, I think Smite is also very good about that, about being more team oriented. It's rare that you see one person take out the entire team. Dota 2 depends on the situation, how much it's snowballing. I think League of Legends by far is the most snowbally game. Like, if the ADC's fed and the rest of his team is doing crap, they can carry really hard. The reverse can happen too, but it's so like out of balance that it's almost like not fun. Another thing too is I think another key distinction when you have those items in Dota 2, there's a lot more variety. There's always a meta, the popular picks, but there's a lot of different builds you could experiment with. With LoL, you have to kind of work off of those base stats that cause the abilities and your core stats, your character stats to the champion stats to scale, right? But you don't get that kind of increase in Dota 2. Like, for example, in League of Legends, you get if all your abilities scale off of AP, you get AP items. It's a no-brainer. Or you might have a mixed match. Like you might have some things scale off of AP, some things scale off of HP. There's weird things like that, and they have it color coded too to make it a little easier. But it's really tough for newer players to get into it, and those mechanics can make it less accessible as well. So that's actually the next issue is with I think actually Raktos wanted to chime in.
Oh yeah, for like Dota 2, I really like the fact that there's different builds for them, because it's just like, well, say I'm playing a Broodmother. Which Broodmother am I playing? Am I playing the mana, a spam one that just makes 10,000 little minions, or am I playing the Vampire Broodmother that just sucks me dry? And there's like all kinds of different builds for all kinds of different players, and it really keeps it fresh.
Yeah, like,
and that's gonna get up there, like with what we were saying earlier, with the core mechanics being a little bit more difficult to play the game. There's different build types and everything. It's just the same thing with Smite and League of Legends as well. You're gonna have your popular picks, but it's gonna be what the mechanics of the game that people can understand.
Yeah.
I mean, can people move and shoot in League of Legends? You can, but you have to practice that, dude. You actually have to practice your moving, your move while you shoot. Unless you got a special keybind to where, you move then shoot. But it's just, you got to practice to, what's it called? Rift Walk or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
To where you can actually kill minions while you're moving. I mean, that actually takes some practice.
Yep. And that's for the fully committed. And we're gonna try to keep in mind more casual gameplay habits or mid-range. Not quite noob, not quite professional, just in between, a happy medium.
Us.
Yeah, there you go.
Not noob, but in hell not professional.
But I think we talked a good bit about accessibility and just the overall onboarding. I think even though there's still opportunities, Heroes of the Storm does probably the best job of onboarding players and reinforcing the intended gameplay experience. Teamwork, objective driven, so on and so forth. Don't get stuck on kills, But it could be a little better. But it's still out of all these games, I think it really reinforces the ideal gameplay, where there's good sportsmanship, people actually working together as a team, and it doesn't feel like just a bunch of random people put together, kind of sort of working towards a common goal, but not really. And it's definitely it's accessible, but there's so many layers of depth once you pick it up. So the replay value is definitely there. You're not gonna get bored with it if you really give it a chance. There's no way you could. I don't see how people could just look in and be like, "It's a pretty shallow game." Like, yeah, then you're a shallow person.
Right.
I think every time people have said that and try to make an argument, it's because they like things they have really bad OCD and they need to keep themselves busy all the time. So like, I like creep deny and creep last hitting. And it's like, okay. I mean, some people like cleaning toilets with a toothbrush, but
Right.
it's better ways to pass your
A
time.
lot of people bitch to bitch too.
Yeah.
They didn't get their way. They didn't get the champion or the hero they wanted to play. They were forced to play, a support or something. So they're gonna troll you the rest of the game, call you a dirtbag. They're not gonna have any XP contribution because they're too busy bitching at you and micromanaging you. So basically, it's a 4v5 the whole game anyway. So all you gotta do, guys, is just ignore these guys. I think you could actually put them on mute in game. I mean, you could ignore them in game. I mean, so you just don't even have to talk to them. You know what to do. You can ping. You can, if you're just pinging and you're not fighting with this guy, the rest of the team's gonna go, dude, you're a fucking douchebag. Let's follow the guy that's not even fighting, that wants to play the game. people move.
Yeah, and eventually what they're gonna do, and I can see them implementing this, they're gonna make it so that the people that get reported, the griefers, we'll just call them as a whole, they're gonna go in the separate queue, much like the leavers do. And I can't wait for that.
I heard it was gonna be that's the same jail, like the griefers and the leavers. They're in the same jail.
Yep.
Like they're in the same queue system. So basically, the griefers are gonna be bitching about the leavers because they're gonna leave again. So they're just gonna stay in that same. So we don't even have to play with them. Unless you get somebody in your group by the name of Mergalicious that likes to leave sometimes or gets booted. Quotation marks. And so you have to play a lever game. But it's all good. We still like him.
Yeah, he's got tough internet. And, Rakdos has to deal with the same thing. Yeah, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. It does.
Yeah, and there's that Hero League glitch that's going around.
Yeah, and it's only
one person on each team will get kicked out of queue, and then that person gets tagged as a leaver.
fun times. But I know we gotta start wrapping up pretty soon, so let's see. We're almost through. We're almost through.
Yes.
Competitiveness and balancing. Again, I think we've been good about touching upon these points, but I feel like Smite and HOTS are the most competitive and well balanced, just because they do a good job of giving you the tools you need to jump right in. But then you have different levels of mastery. Dota 2 and LoL, the skill gap is huge, and it's really hard to come back from that deficit. Every game's winnable, but you definitely get more of a sense of that in HOTS, because it doesn't matter if you're down 3, 5, or even 8 levels. You can still win the match. You can still win team fights. It's always about slight edge and creating momentum and finding opportunities wherever they may be, and there's always opportunities.
Or distracting them.
Yeah, biding your time. I think it's very well balanced, and every hero I feel is viable, and there's a lot of different builds. People always boast about League of Legends, how it has over 100 champions, but how many of those are actually viable right now? Granted, a lot of it's the meta and what's popular, but it's like a lot of heroes on League of Legends feel like a down pick because they've just been nerfed, or other champions have been overtuned. And it's like, yeah. What's that?
Oh, you just like down pick. I'm like Teemo.
Oh, Teemo's not a down pick. Teemo's really. Oh my god, it broke my heart. I still may play with Teemo. I mean, it's been a while since I played League of Legends, but seriously, but see, Teemo's actually a good example. My Teemo build, a lot of people just invested to his mushrooms. I go AD or hybrid with Teemo, and people don't expect it. And I've literally 5v1'd the entire team. Like, they're thinking they could beat me. and I'll just disengage, and destroy the entire team. And they're like, "What the hell? We can't kill this Teemo." And I'm like, "See, this should not be a thing." Like, if you like that sense of being godlike and finding ways to break individual hero, then yeah, play League of Legends. It's really imbalanced. But some people find that fun. If you're like if you're the one dishing it out, it is great fun. But if you're on the receiving end, it's like, oh my gosh, there's nothing I could do. Well, might as well read a book or eat some snacks while I get my shit pushed in.
Right. For the competitiveness, I really think every game is competitive. That we're talking about right now. Heroes is super competitive. It's starting out really hot in the esports scene. With just a couple months ago with Heroes of the Dorm, with the college teams coming out and playing that tournament and getting really active into it, and as well as Dota 2. Dota 2 is very competitive still, especially in the pro scene and the esports team as well.
Oh yeah.
Currently has a $19 million prize pool.
Yes, for the championship.
Now, mind you, when we say competitive, though, we're not saying about the esports scene, because clearly League of Legends and Dota 2 have the most thriving scenes for that. But I mean competitive as in there's a lot more opportunities for more people to compete. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I'm saying they're all competitive. Now, when I come down to the balancing part of it, League of Legends is nowhere near balanced of how it should be. But then again, you think about it, that's why League of Legends is League of Legends, is because of that 1v5 potential.
Yeah.
Like you could say and I've seen it happen, a Vayne that has a halfway decent support that can, get that grab or get that stun or get that lockdown to where that Vayne can just start just eating away at people.
Yeah.
I've seen it, and not a pro. I'm talking about a bronze level Vayne, 1v5 in a whole freaking team just because she got lucky and her placement was good.
Yep.
Dota 2. I haven't played. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played a lot of Dota 2. So I'm not gonna really comment on the balancing there. Smite and Heroes of the Storm balancing is fairly good. For the most part, the people that you're playing with, MMR wise, or your skill level, you're playing with those people. You can, if it depends on what god you're playing or what hero you're playing, you can get in there and just finish up a bunch of kills, but it's going to take the team to get those people down. It's going to take the tank engaging at the right time. With our favorite comp in Smite is Cuckoo, Poseidon, and Zeus. And then we have Fatal Blades on Ares. That's our favorite comp. Everybody knows they're going to get escapes and everything, but we still run it all the time because it's a good burst comp. It's a good competitive, balanced comp. The Heroes of the Storm is the same way. It's a team game. There's nothing that I can do to any part of the enemy team that YogiZilla across the map's not going to get credit for, because it's a team. It's a true team game. The balancing is there. Now, could they be a little bit better on the MMR and balancing you against your skill level players? Yes, but that'll happen. It's still brand new, guys. It's just now. I mean, it was an alpha, now it's in closed beta, and now it's an open beta. In another 2 weeks, it's going to be open to everybody as a released game. I can't wait. I mean, I'm really interested to see how Heroes of the Storm and Blizzard are going to keep the balance and competitiveness with HOTS good. I'm really interested to see it. And I'll stop now because I've ranted too long.
No, they're actually gonna have a retail offering for Heroes of the Storm, or like actual box that had an actual digital download where you could get exclusive content. Like, it's gonna be interesting, like a starter kit type thing.
Oh no, that's the starter bundle inside the Nexus store.
Yeah,
that's what that is. It's the game plus the starter bundle.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's gonna actually be a boxed thing. That's gonna be neat to see in the store. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I just love the fact that Blizzard's still committed to that, because digital's great, it's convenient, But I just love being able to buy a Blizzard game, install it off a disc. You know, I have a CD key. I can enter that CD key on their website and register the product. And if I lose the CD, I could do digital. You know, but I always have the option of having that disc, and not have to worry about actually having an internet connection. You know, well,
Right.
obviously, Heroes of the Storm, you need a internet connection to play it, but still, it's cool to have that option.
Right. Well, and you got to think too. Blizzard is one of the only companies that are still on. I mean, they're not the only. I said one of the only companies that are still on that physical copy collector's item kind of company. I mean, they want you to have. You know, back in the day when Vanilla WoW was out, you got that battle chest.
Oh,
The battle chest being Vanilla WoW. You got some figurines in there. You got some free passes to send to your friends when they actually mattered. And you got a whole bunch of cool shit with the battle chest. And then all of a sudden, you know, the next expansion. So now the battle chest, instead of one game, and it's just you got all these extras. Now you got 4 games in the same battle chest, and you got to download all of them per your disc. I like the keepsakes. Like, I still have my battle chest from 10 years ago, 12 years ago. How long has WoW been around? 12 years now? 11 years now?
Who
I still have
knows?
that same battle chest in the closet there. I mean, yeah.
WoW
I
came
love
out 2001.
2001. So, okay, 13 years ago. 14 years ago. Holy shit.
Crazy.
Anyway. But, anyway. We can move on.
I thought you were trying to turn it to Arnold Schwarzenegger for a second there.
I was trying to think of something.
Get the chopper! I don't know.
No, I was gonna call it Adrian. Adrian!
Hey, that's freaking that's Sly. Sly Stallone.
But I'm Sylvester Stallone, you know what I'm saying?
Angela. I can't even do it.
Yeah.
Angela. I can't even do it. Like, how did you talk like that anyway?
Yeah, you wanna fight? Okay, we can fight. I'm taking more punches to the head than... No. Alright.
So yeah.
Anyway.
So anyways, so as far as balancing, League of Legends and Dota 2 probably are the worst for snowballing. And when you fall behind and farm, which really those games are really centered around, you have to kind of just stall and hope that you get to the late game where everything balances out again. Like, you hit that limit where everybody has full item builds, full level, and then there's no longer like a slight advantage. And Dota 2 is a little harder, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Smite and HOTS, I think, are a lot more, you know, Heroes of the Storm and Smite, I think, are a lot more in balance in that regard and far less snowbally. Now, a quick thing, and we're running out of time, but I was wondering, how do you guys feel about the controls? Because someone told me, and this must have been just another cop-out, but it said that the controls feel clunky. It feels sluggish and unresponsive. I'm like, what? I mean, this is...
I do want to say that at first, when I first started playing it, it did, because of the fact that I was playing League of Legends. Okay.
Mhm.
It did feel a little bit of it now, but like now that I'm actually playing it and playing it more and playing different heroes and everything, the clunkiness is gone. Like, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, mind you, the person that said this, and I'm gonna call him out because he probably doesn't bother listening to the podcast anyway. Love you, bro. Casey, aka Jolly Lava, who's part of our stream team. He said that, like, how many games did you get in? Like 2. I'm like, yeah, you didn't really give it a shot. It was like, you just said, your brain said, oh, it's not League of Legends, I cannot compute.
Right.
Like, I guarantee if Heroes of the Storm was the mainstream game, no one would be saying these silly things. Because, you know, if it's mainstream, it's okay. You know, people make so many apologies for League of Legends because it's the most popular game. And there's still new streamers coming on board. It's like, I'm going to stream League of Legends. I'm like, you know, there's other games out there that are comparable. Even Strife. Give Strife some love. Right. But also the pacing in the match times in Heroes of the Storm is so much faster than anything else. Smite matches can be pretty quick too, and you have Arena and Joust which are usually faster matches. Mm-hmm. LOL and definitely Dota 2. Those matches could take a long time.
2 hours, 47 minutes, 32 seconds is my longest on Dota 2.
I don't doubt it. I think my longest one was 2 hours 15 minutes, and at that point we were just kind of like having tea parties and not really caring as much.
Right.
But then we were just morbidly curious to see where it would go. But
Next up is individual versus team. And of course, we're gonna say that the team game goes to Heroes. I'm sorry, Smite, but all-out team game goes to Heroes of the Storm just because it is a true, like I said before, a true team game. You have to have your teammates to complete objectives. Yes, you can get a camp or something with one other person, but you need your teammates to siege down turrets, go into the mines when you need to go in, get that tribute, get that, just individual aspect. You can look at Dota 2, League of Legends, where you can go in 1v5 if you, Dota 2 not as much, but 1v, League of Legends definitely, to me. Yogi, you want this one? Yes, no?
yeah, so overall fun factor and replay value, I just feel like I have the most fun these days. I'm playing Smite on Xbox One, really enjoying that. The console experience is distinctly different from PC. Far less salt on the console. That's interesting. There's too much elitism on the PC. I have to say that part. I think
it's harder to be salty on a console.
Yeah, even though voice chat is available, most people aren't using it yet because I guess they can't afford a $5 headset. But that's a whole other thing.
A $5 headset. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can plug in anything to the Xbox One adapter. It takes a 3.5mm mini stereo plug. So you can use a cell phone headset if you wanted to, and it'll work. BTW.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a smart play on their part. But I think also in these so-called next-gen consoles, everybody's just happy to get any games at all. Because it's been a pretty dry well on PS4 and Xbox One for the most part. They're just thankful for what they have. So I'm having lots of fun on Smite. And definitely Heroes of the Storm. And I think both games have tremendous replay value. And they reward frequent play, too. League of Legends right these days is just a game I go to play with when my stubborn friends don't want to play anything else other than League, but I miss playing with them, so they're fine. I mean, I might get herpes off of it, but I'll dip into it. Why not? And Dota 2, Dota's always a good one, and a lot of history there with Dota. But I wish I could jump into it more, but it's just like I need to have a lot of time. And it's like, all right, I want to get at least 2 matches in, so I'm gonna need about 4 hours. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I tried to send a link again.
The what?
No. Moobot decided Pete the Boy was spamming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was about to say is like I can't think of any other game where you can do a 6-minute match like Merg, Renee, and I did earlier.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was on Haunted Mines. We got our golem, and all of us just protected it so well. It was only like a 46 golem, and we pushed it right up against their core before it died, and then we just took it.
That's really all that map comes down to. But few people want to commit to it. Like, let's defend first, then we'll push through our goal. I'm like, no, let's just go in. The damage of the count is kind of arbitrary for the most part. But I know we gotta wrap up. We gotta wrap up soon. So fun factor definitely goes to Heroes of the Storm, but Smite's right behind it. But Dota 2 is no sleeper. It's just the fun factor can be mitigated by the fact that it's almost a chore to play if you want to play it the right way. If you just want to ignore creep deny, creep farm, you could do that. But it's gonna be a while before you could buy items, and yeah, that's rough. So you kind of have to farm. Last couple of items before we get our final scores. Virtual economy, pricing, and value. I really feel like the virtual economy in HOTS is very well thought out. Dota 2 is also very generous. Smite, I love, what they do with the Ultimate God Pack, they actually kind of regret that because they pigeonhole themselves. You get a lifetime subscription to the gods. On the Xbox One, if you buy the Ultimate God Pack, you get all the current gods for free and a refund in favor for the gods you purchased previously, but not future gods you still have to buy. Whereas on the PC side, it's a lifetime subscription thing. So worth noting, they realized that was a bad business decision. So it's not gonna no one else is gonna do that because that's smart. It's not profitable, though it's generous on their part. But on the flip side, Smite does itemize a lot of stuff: the voice packs, the countless skins, the ward skins. Oh, the icons, the portraits. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could get in there. I mean, if you want to spend the money, there's stuff to spend money on. But overall value, I think Heroes of the Storm wins. Smite is right behind it. For free, if you're just going free to play, Dota 2 is a tremendous value. So that's my thoughts there. Overall scores, guys. What's your top pick overall? Rakdos?
Wait, I want to do this one.
Oh, you have to do this? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right, the overall scores now. This is for everybody. I'm gonna say the game, and you guys just go off and just give me your number, okay? Because we do got to shut this down here soon. Heroes of the Storm, Yogi.
10 out of 10.
Of course. Rakdos.
Hots, 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Smite, Yogi.
I give Smite 9 out of 10.
Rakdos.
7 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it an 8. Just because of I don't necessarily like the third person type deal, but Dota 2, Yogi.
8 out of 10.
7.
Rakdos, 7. I'm gonna give it a 4 because my bad experience. Last but not least, League of Legends, Yogi.
-2. I'm kidding. No, I'll give it an 8. Nah, 7. Dota's still better.
5.
I'm gonna give it a 5 as well.
Damn, I thought I was being mean. Yeah.
Just gives it.
Yeah. I mean, I really wanted to give it a 4, but I don't want to be too mean.
We do have an honorable mention. We do want to give honorable mentions to, of course, none other than Airmech. You guys haven't tried that out, please do. It is pretty cool. But guys, we want your thoughts on this topic as well. So if you guys do have your own thoughts, please leave us a voicemail again, 206-415-4987. That's again 206-415-4987, and we'll respond here live on HorsePLAY Live. But for now, guys, we do have to get going. I understand. I know you don't want to leave. You don't want us to leave. We don't want to leave, but it's about that time. So we do want to make sure that wow, I just derped again. But we do want to make sure that
HorsePLAY Live is everywhere where you can listen to or download awesome podcasts, including allgames.com.
Please take a few minutes out, thumbs up, favorite, subscribe, and share. Even better, we'd love some comments or reviews from you guys. It's quick, it's easy, and it really helps us out. You have no idea. Thanks to everyone who has been pimping out our content. We love you dearly. If you guys like eye candy, we do video as well. Please check us out on YouTube and Twitch. youtube.com/Geeky Antics, twitch.tv/Geeky Antics. But here on Geeky Antics Network, in collaboration with the All Games Radio Network, we have tons of shows that we cover in a wide spectrum of topics. So we can't possibly tell you every one of them because it would just take too long. So you guys want to go check that out, go to geekyantics.net/scheduling. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Basically, the whole weekends are our busiest podcasting days and streaming days for now. If you guys want to get in on that, just let us know. We'll set you up, and we can go up. But we are looking for hosts, guys. We're looking for writers, broadcasters, streamers, anything that would connect. We're looking for a geeky brain. Come join us on geekyantics.net. It's awesome. You guys want to be around true geeks. That's the word place to go. But if you guys are listening to us, Yogi, where can we find you at real quick?
Yogizilla on Xbox Live, Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter,